This is the Zone 1 podcast for a premium travel experience. The Zone 1 podcast brings you incredible travel opportunities and excursions through networktravel.ca. The Zone 1 podcast features the legendary Jackie Ray Greening, Rick McSwain from Network Travel, and I'm your host, Terry Evans. I'm very excited about today's podcast because we get to say words like Zagreb and Dubrovnik and other words that are hard to pronounce if you've never been there. But I'm guessing some, maybe two, or perhaps at least one of the panel has been to Croatia, or at least to the Adriatic Sea before. Is that the truth, Rick and Jackie Ray?
I've never been to Croatia. This is a first.
I was in Dubrovnik and traveled all the way up to Split, but I haven't done the Adriatic coastal cruise that we're doing, so I'm excited.
So there's a town named Split.
Yeah.
It's right out of a 70s blaxploitation movie. We got a split. Those were some of the best movies back in the day. We are talking about the Croatia Yacht experience with networktravel.ca, and there are two opportunities for you to join. One is with Jackie Ray Greening.
That'd be me. Yes.
It would be you. And the other one is with our pal from 880 Chad.
Yeah.
This is Shay Gannam's trip. So both are happening not too long from now, and both are still available.
And do you know what happened? We launched this probably a year ago, this trip, and sold out within 3 days. Totally sold out. And unfortunately, we had a couple of listeners that said, I get a hip surgery finally. So they had to pull out at the last second. So that's a reason a cabin has become available. So we've gone from sold out to, if you want to get in and come this July to Croatia on a yacht, there's how many of us, Rick?
There's 36 per yacht. So
Yes, that's it. 36. It's small.
So 36 couples or 36 people in total?
There's 18 cabins, let's say that.
Is that right?
Yeah.
So, Jackie Ray, your trip is the first half of July 2026, and then Shay Gannam is going in the second half of July. Hell, that doesn't even leave much time for the pillows to get cool, does it? It's just like, your ship's in port, and then it's a new crew right back on it for another couple of weeks.
Yep, we turn it around.
Yeah, and it's a wonderful way to see all the islands, and a wonderful way, I think, to see Croatia. I can't wait, and the yacht looks fancy schmancy.
Yeah, it's got a big giant hot tub on the top beside the bar. So I just have to say one thing that Jackie Ray, yours is going to be. You said it before? What was it? It was going to be the dry cruise, or
yes.
No wine, no beer.
Yeah. No, it's going to be like it's 4 days, 4 nights on land, and then 7 nights you're on this yacht, and it's going to be top of the end food and drink. But then, what a wonderful way to see Croatia as you wander off off the yacht and check out all the awesome cities that we're going to be visiting.
Well, and we start in the north, and then we do a couple of the tours around the area that you can only get to by coach. So we're going to do that for a few nights, and then we get on the ship. So Šibenik is where we get on the ship, sail down through all these little islands, all the way down to Dubrovnik, through the Adriatic. So Croatia is known for their beautiful, beautiful ocean and all of these special little beaches and the seafood and the culture and the wine and the local breweries and all of these different things. So seafood is a really big part of this with wine. So we're super excited. I think this is going to be absolutely phenomenal. And like you said, to do it on a yacht, 18 cabin yacht, the ratio is 4-to-1 for service in terms of you're going to have we'll arrange to have your own bellboy or cabin steward.
That's how you can get on, Terry.
As a bellboy?
You can be my bellboy.
I'll be the pool boy?
Yeah,
okay.
Pool boy. That's it.
Would you like a hot towel?
That's good.
Hired. Done.
I mean, with that few cabins on this cruise ship, it kind of gives you an idea. Like everybody thinks about cruise ship, you think about these floating cities, but this is a floating boutique hotel.
You're waiting for me? Well, I've never been
Oh, I know.
on
Okay.
it. That's actually a really, really great analogy. It is going to be a floating boutique hotel. And the weather is going to be beautiful and a great time of year. And just go chill and check out a country I've never been to.
Well, and it's in July, and honestly, like it's not about the cabin on this experience because a lot of people they go on these big cruise ships and they go, "Oh, I want the cabin, the outside cabin, and all of these things." You're on a private little 18 cabin yacht. You're not. There's nowhere to be inside, basically, in terms of an inside or outside cabin. So you're going to spend a majority of our time is going to be up in the sun deck. It's going to be up by the pool bar. It's going to be on shore, exploring and going to the beach and snorkeling off the back. There's a swim pad off the back of the yacht as well. So, and I've got some surprises I haven't told anybody about, even you, Jackie Ray. So, we're gonna build in a couple of pretty cool little things here, but I haven't mentioned it yet. It'll be a surprise.
I've heard many times people talk about Croatia for a destination, about how amazing it is. The few people that I do know that have been in that region. The thing is, as you broaden out a little bit further, you end up in places that are maybe a little sexier, the proper word, when you start talking about, Greece and heading down there toward those islands, but they tend to be a little more congested just because everybody will, oh, I want to go to Greece, the blue and white, the pictures,
Mhm.
the this, the that, the other thing. But Croatia sometimes is not on people's radars. So what is the thing? I know there's a lot of similarities with the amount of islands around Greece and the amount of islands around Croatia. Is that the end of it, or is there that much more that people would enjoy, maybe having been to Greece before, Rick, and then going to Croatia for the first time?
Well, I think a lot of people don't realize, or they hear the stories that Croatia is always noted as one of the more affordable parts of Europe. They just joined. They just joined the euro, so their currency is now euro. It used to be. They used to have their own Croatian currency. So and it's still quite inexpensive. When I was there, I mean, you could buy a beer for like $3 as an example, a meal, a really nice meal on the beach for overlooking the ocean, like in a nicer restaurant. I mean, $30 with wine and a meal, which is fantastic. Roughly $30 Canadian. It's been several years since I've been to Croatia, so I'm not sure exactly in terms of how it is right now, but it's still known as one of the most affordable, beautiful destinations in Southern Europe.
You talked about going and spending some time on the coaches a few days before you hit the boat and start cruising around. What is the destination? How do you get in there? Where do you fly from? Is it going to be up to people depending on what their itinerary is and what they want to do, or is it chartered or a group flight, sort of leaving the Edmonton area, or what? How does it? And what's the entry point into Croatia? Where do you fly into Zagreb or Dubrovnik, or where are you?
Yeah, we fly into Zagreb. So there's some people in the group that want to come a couple of days earlier and just do a couple of little tours on their own, which is fine. Majority of the group will be probably coming in we'll probably leave Canada on the last day of June 30th, and then arrive on the 1st, and then we leave out on the 2nd of July, and then we start from Zagreb. We start working our way over to. I want to make sure I'm getting this pronounced correctly. Vodas, and then we're going to go down to Krka National Park. A lot of people hear about this national park as being one of the UNESCO sites. I think it's a UNESCO site. Honestly, I can't remember, but it's got all these waterfalls, and it's interior in the country. So the only way to get to it is to drive out. But it's supposedly, and I wasn't able to go out there when I was up in Split, but it's supposedly absolutely incredible. So we're going to spend 2-3 hours out there. It's about an hour and a half drive from Split, and from there we'll work our way down, obviously, then to Split. But it's one of the key areas out of Zagreb on our way down.
And it's interesting that you say that's where we're starting, Zagreb. But I know some listeners are going to Greece for a few days before. I know we're going in, I think the 25th, 26th. We're meeting some other listeners there actually and doing a tour around Zagreb and getting a feel for that area. So and that's the great thing about this trip. You do you. If you want to leave with Rick on those dates, or if you want to go earlier, you can do that as well. So it's a very flexible, which I like. Even at the end, Dubrovnik, we're going to stay 2 or 3 days there afterwards, just not get to that city and leave, because I hear it's pretty incredible as well.
Well, that's pretty neat that considering, and Rick, you mentioned that it's quite a bit inland. Zagreb is way up in past sort of the narrow part of the country where it widens out again before you get in there. And Jackie Ray, I was going to say, what kind of things are there between Zagreb and Vodis that you could do? But Jackie Ray, have you already got an itinerary? Have you?
Yeah, that's a great thing at Network Travel. We just said to the agent, we just said, hey, we're going in early, and she recommended a couple of different things. So we're doing one each day. So yeah, there's options available as to whatever you want to do. So we're just in a small coach van. I think there's 8 people, and just heading out just to get the lay of the land around Zagreb.
Let's face it, by the time November rolls around, you are going to be about ready for an all-inclusive trip to Mexico. Why not join Jackie Ray Greening, Rick McSwain from Network Travel, and me for an all-inclusive trip to the Moon Palace Resort in Cancun, November 3rd to the 10th. But the chef's kiss? Unlimited golf. I mean, sure, you've got the all-inclusive everything at the Moon Palace Resort. I've stayed at a Moon Palace Resort before. They're fabulous. But unlimited golf. Cart fee not included. It's $90 US per round. But everything else is, even the food and drinks on the golf course. All you have to do is go to networktravel.ca to find out more. Jackie Ray Greening, Rick McSwain from Network Travel, and me hosting the all-inclusive, all-you-can-golf trip to Mexico, Cancun, November 3rd to the 10th, networktravel.ca. Are there wineries? Are there, you talked about the UNESCO thing, Rick? Are there real attractions that people are, that are must-see things before you end up getting on the ship with those few days?
Well, like I said, the waterfalls is one of those. Kirkau National Park out there is one of the things. The whole group's doing that, but going in before is just enjoying like the typical European kind of experience, cafes, beautiful dinners. There's a lot of culture in Zagreb as well. And of course, there's, people remember the Bosnian War, and they remember the old city of Dubrovnik as well, and they're on the border of Bosnia. So that whole thing is still, I can still remember, during that time, on national news type thing, you could see some of these scenes from these cities. Zagreb, we used to manage the rotation of troops, for example, for the Canadian military for peacekeeping, and they were going in and out of Zagreb, and they were in Dubrovnik as well. So there's still a lot of really, it's still pretty relatively new in terms of how long ago it was. It wasn't that long at all. So there's still all of that, and then all of the cultural things like the big, massive cathedrals, and there's one national World Heritage Site there. It's UNESCO. Let me see. It's called the St. James, I think.
Yeah, it's the church there. Yeah,
cathedral. So there's all kinds of really. You have to just immerse yourself in the culture when you're there. It's incredible.
What about the medieval? You talked about not being old, or I guess one person's medieval is not the same as another person's medieval. But the proximity to Italy, Austria, Greece, and everything in that region. Do you have an opportunity to go in and see stuff that's centuries old and appreciate some of the old architecture and that sort of thing?
Yeah, absolutely. That's part of these bigger cities like Zagreb and down in Dubrovnik. There's still that rich culture from centuries ago, similar to, the whole region down through Italy, France, Spain, Portugal, all the way down the coast into the Adriatic, of course, into Croatia. There's just a lot of that culture. So I think that in addition to, like I said, like that experience when you're on the ocean, I mean, everybody migrates to the ocean, those cafes, the seafood
Mhm.
restaurants, and the drinks and the sounds and the people watching and all of these things that you can experience.
Are there similar? You talk about the island culture. Obviously, it's going to be a lot different than anybody who's experienced island culture down in the Caribbean. That sort of thing. Probably not a lot of reggae music in the islands of Croatia, I'm guessing. But what about some of the horticultural, agricultural aspects of it? I mean, if you look at Sicily, you look at Sardinia, you look at Malta. There's some very specific things with the blue zones and the way they live in Italy. Is there a similar sort of culture and agricultural sort of being farm to table kind of sort of thing in that region as well?
Well, and there's one area we're going to be doing a farm to table family owned restaurant, which is quite good. So down in through that area, it's very common to see a lot of fruit trees. Of course, lemons. Lemons are always popular in southern Italy as well. Olives. Just and of course, like I mentioned again, like similar to Italy and southern Europe, it's all about the seafood and that experience. A lot of fishing villages. So
The ship itself, a smaller yacht, but one of the things that you're quick to point out in the brochure, as it were, spacious cabins, AC, and private bathrooms. That's an important reassurance. Do you have a story about non-private bathrooms that
well,
you'd care to share?
again, it's like people that honestly, again, and I don't always want to keep coming back to Africa, but people thought when we were going to Africa that they were going to share a bathroom with like six other people or something. And honestly, I think people think when they get on like one of these smaller vessels like this, they think that there's going to be like some sort of common bathroom area. And I mean, and it's one of those sticklers. If I don't get my own bathroom, I'm not going, right? So gotta highlight that.
Okay, one hotel. I remember my girlfriend Michelle and I. We were in Venice, and we were first of all with this fancy tour company on this bike trip we were on together. And last night we stayed at this grand hotel right on the canal in Venice, 5-star, $1,000 a night. It was all part of the package. And then we went to the hotel we booked the next night. And of course, Venice, you're going to your luggage over the big cobblestone. And then we get to this hotel and we shared the bathroom with everybody else on the fourth floor. My girlfriend booked it. I can assure you, she never heard the end of that one. I said, "Wow, we came down a notch or two on this little puppy."
Yeah,
Oh,
you gotta bring sandals or you'll get planter's warts.
plantar fasciitis.
Is that
Oh,
what
you
it's
get
called?
infections
Okay.
in the shower if you don't wear flip-flops in the shower. Yeah.
Yeah. Another one of the islands that we're stopping off, small little island, is called Bisevo, and that's they have. I don't know if you have either of you been to Italy and gone into it's called Blue Grotto. It's over on the island of Capri. Have you been over there?
No, I haven't.
So we're going in this. It's called the Blue Cave, and it's on this little island that we're stopping at. So this the whole thing is a reflection of this beautiful blue water, and everything's dark inside except for just the cave entrance that has the light shining through, and then it creates this blue atmosphere inside the cave. It's absolutely incredible. So you get in this little boat, and they row you in, and then you're in this cave, this blue cave. So we're going to experience that when we're on this little island as well.
Something that you referenced earlier with your connection to the Canada's military and things that were happening in Bosnia Herzegovina. Uh, if people are a little apprehensive about the safety of the region, is that something that you can reassure them? I mean, obviously, there's an inherent sort of thing that you have to take in consideration no matter where you are traveling. But
Mhm.
is the Croatia destination safer than, say, a Greek destination for, I don't know, everything from military action to petty crime? Or is that something that has been pretty much, by the wayside there? You don't
Yeah,
have to worry
it's
about it.
pretty much gone now. And everything there is all it's all about tourism now. There's the war has been over for quite some time. So when we were there, it was extremely safe. Everyone's in tourism mode. Hotels are beautiful. The food's amazing. The people are fantastic. Everyone's welcoming. And those countries in that region now, seemingly get along. I think they really do. So there's really no conflict at all. In terms of crime, we didn't even witness or were never told about petty crimes. Like, for example, when you're in Greece, you have to watch out for pickpockets, small crime like that. Sometimes up in Rome too is really bad. Barcelona is really bad for that. But down in Zagreb and down in Dubrovnik and all these areas, like, we've never had a problem. So it was very safe, and you feel safe too. People are really friendly.
Reluctantly.
Hi, this is Terry Evans, hoping you'll join me for the Reluctantly Podcast. ReluctantlyPodcast.com, with guests like Tom Cochran, Brian Johnson from AC/DC, Brian Baumler, and Kevin Lowe, formerly with the Edmonton Oilers. Also Darby Mills, Lee Aaron, Haley Benedict, and more. ReluctantlyPodcast.com.
Reluctantly.
What about anything? Like, I know some type of places in the Philippines and whatnot. Like, I don't know, there was a thing, somebody got caned for spitting or something like that. Is there some things in the region in Croatia that you should be very aware of? Hand gestures or something? Like, I know Jackie Ray likes to,
Talk with my hands.
He's French.
you get some gestures going, and all of a sudden you have no idea.
And I've set off an international incident.
Yeah. So if you're coming with us, if you're listening to this, watching this podcast, God help you if you're watching. If you're coming with us, don't hang out with Jackie Ray, because in a Croatian jail someplace. But no, there's it was funny because we were doing, when you get down to Dubrovnik in the old city, it's this old, well, it's the most famous, I think, picture in all of Croatia is the old city of Dubrovnik. So it's got this massive stone wall around it, right on the Adriatic, right on the ocean. And when you can pay for a little tour and walk around the top, and there's this big, it's like you're walking on top of a massive, like, Great Wall of China or something, this massive walk that goes around the top. But when we got there was a guy, and typically, sometimes Eastern European people, they're so nice, but sometimes they come across as very abrupt and a little bit curt sometimes. And so the guy goes, he's just a young guy. He was up there and he goes, "Where's your ticket?" And I go, "Oh, geez, like, this guy's, just give me a second." He goes, "Where's your ticket? Give me your ticket." And I go, "Well, hold it a second. Just give me a second." Right. And so anyways, the guy that was with me actually was Don Bosch, and he was with me. He goes, "Geez." So he gives him his ticket, and he goes, "That's a wrong ticket. Give me that ticket, or you're not going in." And he goes, "Oh my God, I'm not trying to rip you off. Just give me a second." Anyways, they're just kind of sometimes abrupt like that. And it was kind of funny because, and sometimes when you're in Hungary is like that. Some of the Eastern European countries sometimes are like that. So it's kind of fun because you can't take offense to it.
Because come get yelled at. Please book that final spot. You really sold this trip. Wow.
No, but it's
wow.
It's funny because it's one part of the world, right? That you got to explain.
That's why you travel. Exactly. If we were all the same, it'd be pretty boring, right?
Yeah.
If they were all as nice as Rick McSwain.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe he was just one of those guys having a bad day. I don't know. Right.
So you talk about the opportunity to fly into Zagreb and then spend a few days roaming around, and network travel gets you a little itinerary, Jackie Ray, and then all of a sudden you're down there on the coast and you're popping into Vodis and you get to the boat. So the in between landing and getting to the boat, you can choose your time and choose your stops and choose the amount of time. Really do. But once you get onto the boat, you unpack once and you're just kind of there for the whole week, right? So there's not a whole bunch of pack up, put a suitcase, drag it here, get it on there. It's very few headaches, right?
Well, once we get on the boat, the yacht, we're set to go. So we unpack once exactly. So get in the bathing suits, and this.
Yeah, and your snorkeling equipment, because I bet you the snorkeling is going to be pretty awesome right off the Adriatic, eh? So I'm definitely going to be bringing that along.
Yeah, absolutely. And underwater cameras, if you got GoPros, that kind of thing, like, you have to bring that along. Another thing that we're doing is Kochula. We're going to stop in a place called Kochula, and according to history, you can debate whether or not they say Marco Polo was born there, but then some say that he was born in Venice. So you just, but it's chances are, he was either born in Cuchula or Venice. We're going to say he was born in Cuchula.
Or Cuchula, because then you stand there in Cuchula and you go, Marco!
Hello.
Hello. Ka-ching.
The Mediterranean lifestyle is so different too from North American lifestyle as well. I have a friend, Matt, who just spent 2 months in Spain, and he talks about the little siesta in the afternoon and the fact that dinner is not until 9 or 10 o'clock at night, and all of the things that go along with that different lifestyle that seems to be so much healthier than a North American lifestyle. How much are you looking forward to that, Jackie Ray?
Well, it's funny. Well, like you, I did morning show for a lot of years. So when you're getting up at 3 or 4 in the morning, you get used to it. And then what? We don't eat till 10 at night. But now that I'm retired, I'm getting into this nap thing. I'm looking forward to it. And I love the food. I love the fresh I love the fresh seafood. Just love the Mediterranean way of life. Like for us to eat the way we do at 10 at night, we'd never sleep. But there, it's a lighter food and healthier, it seems. So I'm really looking forward to it.
Lots of olive oil, breads, seafood.
Lots of olive oil.
Le volet.
Beach bars, cafes, local culture. Rick, is there a specific, like you talk about the Mediterranean diet, but does Croatia have some specific dishes that stick out in your head, or is it kind of more of a regional thing rather than a national thing? I know, because if you watch Stanley Tucci's documentaries, each region of Italy is known for one thing of food or one specific dish or something like that. It's fascinating to watch. I'm just wondering if you have that same sort of thing in Croatia.
Well, again, that seafood, ceviche, that the wine, olive oil, breads, spices, the seafoods, like that tends to be everything that we experienced when we were there, and it's just incredible. There's nothing like it. It's just when you're sitting outside on the ocean and the breeze, and you've got a glass of wine in your hand, and you're just experiencing some olive oil, and you're dipping your bread in some. I tell you, it's just absolutely incredible, and there's nothing like it.
I think one of the important things to present when we're talking about this trip is the fact that if you tried to do this sort of thing on your own, it would be a logistical nightmare. But network travel, with the experience of doing it in the past and doing it multiple times, it creates more of a community feel, more of a togetherness, even if you're there with people that you don't know. And the fact that Jackie Ray, you and Rick are both going to be on this thing, it's going to really be a traveling with us kind of feel. Sure, there's going to be opportunities for you to go off and do your own thing if you so desire, maybe something a little more romantic one night or one afternoon or whatever the case. But it all comes back to that small group community sort of mentality, which has everybody together feeling safe, feeling like they know where they're going, feeling like they're not, there's no lack of knowledge anxiety, I guess, right?
That's the great thing about traveling with the group. We'll know everybody on this yacht, except obviously for the people working on it, but we'll know everybody. And that's the great thing. We have our motto is you do you. If you want to sit up and have a cold beer with us up on deck and the group we're with, great. If you want to sit off in the corner, read your book, great. Just you do you. It's your holiday. You do what you want, but you're right. Let us take care of. I'm in charge of the fun, and then Rick's not.
So I'm going to pull a surprise. I'm not going to do the surprise anymore. Screw it.
No, the surprise is off the table now just because of Jackie Ray.
I'm going to tell everybody, sorry, I had all this big thing planned and script, Jackie Ray. So, and that's exactly what I was going to say. We know everyone that's in this group. So they've all traveled with us in the past. And what we try to strive for is we want to eliminate the regimented kind of feel. Like if you feel like wandering off and you say, hey, you know what, we get into port, we're going to go do our own thing, just go do it. I mean, some of these ports that we go into on these little islands, there's a coach set up and we're going to go off and explore. But if somebody doesn't want to do that, that's fine. Nobody cares. Just let us know you're not going and off you go. Just do your own thing. That's the best part. And I think what's going to be really neat on this yacht that we're on is this is a private group. This is just us. So you're not getting on with a bunch of, some of these people I think are, maybe there's a few that might not know each other, but honestly, I think most will know each other. So the thing is, when we get on, this is a private group. We're going to meet the captain right away and say, hey, look, if that sucks, we're not going there. Change the itinerary. So when it's our yacht for 7 days. So like we could, so we're gonna turn it into something really, really cool, I think. So it'll be fun.
Yeah, we need to let's sell this last cabin because it just came open and it was sold out. It's not now. So July 1st to 12th, just networktravel.ca.
Yeah.
July 1st to 12th with Jackie Ray and Rick. And then, of course, the trip July 15th to 26th with Shay Ganem from 880 Ched. What is it that you wanted to add to that, Rick?
When we're in Dubrovnik in the old city, there's something really cool I'm going to tell everybody about when we get there. But what's really cool is when you're on the perimeter on the inside, but you're walking around the stone wall. It was really neat because when I was there, we were walking along and there's this big, huge kind of round top door, big, heavy door. And I go, like we're on the outside of this fort, if you will, this old city. And I like, what could be behind this 4-foot thick stone wall? So I opened the door and it was only open like, I don't know, probably a couple of feet or something. So I figured I'd peek in to see what was in there. So I opened the door and no sign, no nothing. And I opened the door and it went straight out onto the ocean. And there was 7 or 8 tiers. And there was these little tables set up where you could sit and have a beer or a wine or whatever. And they had some hors d'oeuvres. And you could sit there on the ocean in the sun and just enjoy a beer on the other side of this massive stone wall. No signs, no nothing. So we just stumbled on it. There was a few of us in the group and we sat and we spent the afternoon just sitting on this terrace kind of stone natural thing outside the gate, outside the wall.
Wow. Sounds like a good day for me.
Yeah, I can appreciate it as well. Yeah. Absolutely.
It's beautiful.
Envy you both. Lifestyle connection, slowing down, traveling with a small group, and turning it into a community and memories for a lifetime. It is Croatia by cruise. Basically, for the month of July, 2 separate trips. One with Shay Ganem and the other with Jackie Ray and Rick. It's the private yacht in Croatia. Networktravel.ca for all the details.
This has been the Zone 1 podcast. For a premium travel experience, Rick McSwain from networktravel.ca, Jackie Ray Greening. I'm Terry Evans. The Zone 1 podcast is part of the Reluctantly Podcast Network.